Okay, don't worry. Part 4, still a little bit more to go for the complete Exodus. I'm going to bitch about the manna. I'm going to demand a golden calf. You know, I really don't know how long my Exodus is going to take. This could be it, but maybe it's not. So I will turn my video back on that talks about citizenship. I don't know when, maybe tomorrow, maybe today, because it's very ironic that I think just yesterday, I figured out how to watch a video without having to look at their ads, because I'm not stupid enough to pay to watch YouTube. I mean, that is literally the dumbest thing you could do. But anyway, if you watch it on your TV, if you just click it 3 times, it bypasses the ad. If you want to watch part of it. I love the preview thing because you can get a taste of it before you even invest your time, which is a limited amount. You only have so much time and you don't want to waste it on YouTube. That's all I can say. Anyway, so this is what a slave says. I was going to go through and kind of show you how I scroll and just briefly comment on all of the memes. But this topic says, where is the ceiling for high prices? See, that is only a question. And anyone that uses words like liberal, I can't even say it, liberal, left, right, conservative. See, that's a slave. They may have everything right that they're talking about, but they still believe in this system. They think as long as we get the right people in place, as long as you vote right the next time, it's all going to be okay. And that literally is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Yeah, it's endless for things that I could really talk about. Because I realize that, with all due respect, I realize there's some really intelligent people that have come to my channel and have been interacting with me over the years. And I appreciate you guys, and I'm so glad you're awake. Well, the rest of them, I mean, come on. You know, the culling's taking too long. So it's true, man. You're worth, hey, man, you're worth more dead than alive to them. Our blood backs the money. And that's the whole thing in that video I showed you. It's a download I got from the Most High that showed me that the story about Jesus, the baby in the manger, and breaking all that down, bringing him gold, an unlimited amount, made him a citizen of the Roman Empire, and he could not be arrested without being a citizen. If you're a sovereign, you can't be arrested. You can't be a sovereign citizen, though. This is where people mess up. That's why they can make a robot a citizen and a human. And you exchange your sovereignty for that. A robot never had sovereignty, right? So it's not any criteria there. But slaves ask questions like this. They go, is it ever going to end? Are these prices ever? No, we told you 6 years ago, this is the complete dissolution, devolution, dismantling of America. We told you. Did you think we were kidding? Did you think we left our jobs and didn't comply because we were joking? If somebody or some of us fully believe what we're talking about, and we're fully vested, and we read all of their documents, we read their patents, we read their executive orders. They tell us everything they're doing, but you will not hear about it on the evening news. Let me just say this for the record. There's no such thing as a nuclear weapon. And at the end of this little video, I'm going to put a real catchy tune. And if you listen to it, you will hear what the establishment at the time thought about the people they were making the video for. They literally called them dumb and make it a little snappy tune, teaching them how to duck and cover. Maybe you've seen it. This started in 1952, the whole nuclear bomb scare. And if you watch the video in its entirety, I certainly won't do that to you here. It's in black and white, and they're showing kids in the 50s how to duck and cover outside, in the classroom, how Ask an adult for help that's in a trench coat. Oh my God, it's classic. It's so funny. And everything opposite of what we know to do today. Don't go near anyone in a trench coat, right? It's certainly if you're a child. But this starts early in this indoctrination. And, there's a point in time where I really felt bad about myself because I didn't go to college. I didn't have the opportunity, but I did start my own business when I was 19, and I was very successful, and I always had an entrepreneurial edge to what I did, even in a corporation. And I loved jobs that gave me a ton of autonomy, and that was the only way I could work for someone else. But I felt bad because I didn't have a college education, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for all the times I rebelled, all the times that I didn't go to college. I did take all these tests, that you can test out and get credits for. I forget what that's called. And I aced them all. And I'm sorry to brag, but I would encourage you to do it too. If you feel bad that you never had an opportunity to go to college, go and take these tests. I think it's CLEP does them or something like that. I could be wrong. It's been so long ago that I did that. But I took it in English and math and science, all their curriculum that they indoctrinate us with. All useless information. However, the thing that I find to be the most useful, and the only teacher I remember in high school was Mrs. Silcox that taught English. And she taught me how to break down words using Latin. I don't think they do that anymore, and I don't think they teach critical thinking anymore, which used to be a prerequisite for law. And there was a time I was entertaining to do all this stuff because I did graduate, and I actually did do some distant courses and compiled a bunch of credits, almost enough to have an AA degree in my free time. But anyway, that's when you want to be a slave in the system. You need that kind of, those certificates and that acknowledgement in order to excel within this system. You need to know how to answer a multiple choice question. They'll tell you what you need to know, and then you have to remember it. So it's all about memory. And, it's just no thinking on your own. This whole place, as a slave, keeps you from really knowing who you are. And they make you feel bad about it if you have a different opinion. And you shouldn't. While you're here as a spirit, you've incarnated in this body, rather than use it for the lusts of the flesh and endless eating and mind-bending, dumbed-down entertainment, try sitting with yourself, for just 15 minutes. It's hard if you're not practiced in it. And I'm not saying to meditate. I don't believe in meditation. I contemplate all the time. I think things through. I'm always thinking, talking within myself to a higher source, whatever. And those are the moments when you get the downloads. But you have to trust yourself. See, this whole religion thing puts us in a position where we're looking to a man to mediate for us between a higher power. And the more I learned about how the whole thing is manufactured for control, it's really just hard to have faith in the American population or any country that takes these religions so seriously, especially Christianity. When you learn that for the most part, there's no proof that Paul ever wrote any letters. And it just goes on and on and on. And I'm not basing this on theologians and scholars because they have an agenda too. They have an agenda, most of them, to keep this stuff in front of you because that keeps you compliant. And then as long as you're compliant, you're in the system. As soon as there's no more jobs and AI takes everything, they'll give you universal basic income. Somebody said that's not going to happen. They're totally wrong. And then it's just a one-off thing. I mean, they will reach their goal on the Georgia Guidestones of 500 million. Yeah, 500 million, which means about 20 million in America. And the number they use all the time is 384 million people in America. Oh, algorithm. It's an algorithm. That's all it is. It's an algorithm. Oh my gosh. So if you're a citizen, you're a slave. You can't be a sovereign citizen. And I'll say it over and over and over. And if you are a citizen and you haven't done paperwork to come out of her, my people, then you need to, and you will be held accountable and responsible and answer to all their statutes, codes, and rules. And if you want to play the game and drive around with, no license plates, I applaud you. But at this point in time, these are full on, and I hate to use the word, but it's a psychopath. It's an NPC that you're going to be dealing with. And who needs that? You're going to be either arrested or you're going to sign something under duress. Always make sure you write under duress, because you're not going to get to leave until you sign something, right? And the guy with the gun and the badge is telling you to sign it. And the uniform, right? Uniforms are communism, period. They want you to believe that we're all the same. That's why they put us in indoctrination as soon as they can. Because they want you to experience the humiliation, feel ashamed if you don't do what everyone else does. Shaming rituals go on all the time in school, especially for the brightest kids. They want to knock them down about, 10 pegs and get them in line. Again, listen to Pink Floyd. Great music, great words that explain it all. Another brick in the wall. And for you entertainment people, come in here, dear boy, have a cigar. You're gonna go far. You're never gonna die. You're gonna make it if you try. They're gonna love you. I mean, on some level, I wonder, was Pink Floyd that far? Could they see that far into the future? But it's just, I don't know. You just don't know when you go back and, like I did, and break. See, the reason I don't have what you call success, which I could care less about on YouTube, is because my channels were removed. My videos were removed. And then, as a result, I go back and forth and vacillate. Because I'm not doing this for money. I always wanted to put stuff out there that would make people feel like they're not alone if they see what's going on. But they squelch our voices. They've shadow banned us. And it's not about algorithm. You're on a terrorist watch list if you say anything against the government, the control of the mind people. And I guess that's what it is. It's like, because the truthers or I hate that word too, because it's mostly shills that are truthers, that are actually liars. You just see the most obnoxious, stupid, Bart Simpson kind of stuff. And it makes you lose hope, especially 6 years later. And how many of them have been fully vaxxed? I mean, I don't know. Perhaps that has something to do with it. They're connected to the grid, even more so, if you allowed that upgrade. See, we're all electrical beings, and we live and breathe ether. And in times not that long ago, they were able to pull water. There's people right now that have machines that can pull water out of the air for nothing, for free. And they cannot bring it to market because they won't let them monetize something, or they won't let them bring it to market because they need to make money with their meters. I mean, think about it. You come into this world and you're supposed to believe in society and be part of it. I mean, my mother just wanted to raise good citizens. She was completely snowballed by it all, just as their plan made it. All baby boomers. The ones that most worship and honor the government. Anybody in a uniform. All the officials. I've always hated them. But I wouldn't voice it because everybody else seemed to be just, or you're just scared of them. Don't tell me anyone that doesn't get in their car, you have all your shit. You have your license, you have your insurance, and you have your registration, right? And yet, if you see those lights light up behind you because you're going 2 miles over the speed limit, what is fun about driving a really nice car and you can't go 5 miles over the speed limit? See, everything is set up to just fuck with you and make you anxious and under a high level of anxiety all the time. Because you're a slave. Because you're a citizen. They made a robot a citizen and nobody really noticed. This is 10 years ago. But like I showed you in my video, the reason they did it where they did is because that's the headquarters of the New World Order. Iran is fighting the New World Order. And these people say, Iran, they're terrible people. Oh, they do this and that. They just regurgitate what they hear on mainstream media. Unless you've been there, you don't know those people. All these so-called immigrants that have come in, they were invited. They were invited to get a social security number. It's beneficial to the leaders. They're supposed to be representatives, but you people call them leaders. Again, when I say you guys, I'm not talking about the ones that are awake, okay? I'm just using it in a general context. But yeah, don't ask slave questions unless you're going to do something about it. Everybody has this myopic view of one particular subject: food, gas, war. When the only thing we should look at is how to throw sand on the machine and kill it dead. I did see one meme today because I just scroll memes, and he said, let's save America, let's all stop working. Exactly. But see, you don't want to suffer. You don't want to experience any hardship. You'd rather just stay a slave. And you have no idea of the time we're living in. You're called to stand up in this time. You're called to not comply.
Deedle-dum-dum, deedle-dum-dum, deedle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. Holes to crawl into like Bert the Turtle, so we have to cover up in our own way. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face. Duck and cover underneath a table or desk or anything else close by. In Betty's school, they are talking about the atomic bomb, too. Betty is asking her teacher, how can we tell when the atomic bomb may explode? And her teacher is explaining that there are two kinds of attack, with warning and without any warning.